Welcome back to the internet's number one fake history podcast, The Lore Boys. I'm your host, Ethan Palmer, and joining me as always is the tempestuous, swirling storm of dragons that we lovingly refer to as Jamie and Peter. Say hi, you two.
Hello.
Yeah, I was gonna say James Miller Decker instead of Miller or something. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And you play a mill deck. Interesting. Interesting, huh? So our show, The Lore Boys, is of course supported by Patreon, and this week's patrons of the week are Dark Side and Honest Dawn, two lovely, lovely people who requested this episode and this topic. So shout out to them.
Love OGs.
Hey, yeah, thanks for your continued support. Check out the Patreon link in the description on Peter's head. So this is a Magic the Gathering episode. If you've never heard a Magic the Gathering episode, we'll do our best.
Where have you been?
Okay. Yeah, but where have you been? It's by far what we talk about the most, I think. And now I've got Jamie into it, so I don't even have to feel bad about it anymore. Forcing Jamie to listen to me talk about the lore, he suddenly is excited about it. So, we should have
already
cards.
a fan of the
Should we reach for
Phyrexians.
cards, huh? Whatever, dude.
Damn,
I
that's
made
pretty
such a mess.
sick. That's pretty freaking cool, man. He's like making it rain like he's at the strip club right now, but with magic cards.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've
That
been
would
kicked
be-
out of a few strip clubs for doing exactly this, but
With magic cards?
yeah, with magic cards.
Hell yeah.
They don't like it, turns out.
No.
So
I mean, what if she knows how to play? Then maybe she'd be excited.
well, it hasn't happened to me yet, I guess.
I feel like if you were in
uh,
in the chair, I've never been to a strip club, so I have to describe the ones you see on TV. I'd have to describe
Right.
the Bada Bing from Sopranos.
You've never
If
been
you
to
were
a strip
sitting,
Wow.
no.
Pretty
If
good,
you
yeah.
if you sit in the front row and the stage is up top, that seems like a pretty good
Splash
height
them.
to put cards on,
like
right?
your playmat down.
Yeah,
Rolling
exactly,
out your
like right
playmat on
there.
the edge of the
And
And then
stage.
she's obviously holding herself upside down by her legs on the
Mm-hmm.
pole, and she's got a good view of the battlefield too, right?
Okay, yeah, true.
What's
true.
I'm just saying,
what's the dice that's really spiky to step on, like the triangle one?
a caltrop.
Yeah.
D4.
Yeah.
D4
Oh, okay,
you-
one Lego, and then
Yeah.
caltrops.
But
I think.
D4s might actually be on your playmat. That would be dangerous. If I went to a strip club, if they knew the value, like there's some really expensive cards, man. But you'd have to double sleeve before sliding it into the G string, I think.
Yeah, because it's gonna get wet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Okay. We're gonna talk about Magic. Super quick primer on Magic. It's a multiverse, so we're gonna be talking mainly about one story, or one plane, I should say. This is a semi-continuation of another story. We're talking about the plane, but it is kind of a direct continuation of our Nico Bolas / Ugin origin stories. We have 2 episodes, I think, on that.
Okay, it's not United 93 that crashed in a field in Philadelphia, thanks to the heroic acts of the passengers.
No comment.
Okay.
So listen to those if you want. If you don't want, just know that there's a bad dragon named Nico Bolas who has a twin brother named Ugin. I think that's all you really need to know. We'll fill in the gaps as we go, I think,
Yeah,
right? Because you guys
We have
will surely
episodes
not...
about both of them.
Yeah, we definitely have an episode about both of them together. And this is a direct continuation of those 2 episodes of like their origin story.
Okay.
Basically. So our Magic the Gathering story begins today on a nascent plane, lifeless, devoid of all but possibility. Okay? Lifeless, that is, until a little dragon known as Ugin, the spirit dragon. He's not the spirit dragon yet, but Ugin, the spirit dragon, appears, fresh from fleeing his brother Nico Bolas on Dominaria. In their
Okay,
last conversation... Go ahead, Peter.
Teacher, is this a midquel to the Dragon Brother episodes we did before? Okay, never mind.
So we're going to talk about the plane. That this plane that I'm describing right now is really what we're going to be focusing on here. That said, it is going to circle the story of Nico Bolas. The last we left him, do you guys remember where we ended those 2 stories? So Ugin had come to this plane once and then returned, and Ugin learned how to planeswalk. So he learned how to travel between the different planes of Magic the Gathering. He's like one of the earliest planeswalkers, basically, and he's like hopping around a very young multiverse and like experiencing these different planes. He found this plane and says like this plane is his soul. He loves this plane that we're going to talk about. And then eventually makes his way back to his brother, and he finds his brother has like taken over the plane of Dominaria, basically, right? And do you remember the last interaction that they had? Bonus points for either of you.
I remember the
So
beginning.
Bolas had said,
The beginning is a lot clearer to me than the end. Like
Yeah.
I remember
Me too.
the dragons like falling from the sky, and then like Nico Bolas doesn't actually have two names, and they're all supposed to have two names, so he gave himself two names because his brothers are twins, so they each only got one name. But his brother like leaned
His
into
sister
it.
gets trapped and killed by humans, right? She
No,
gets
yeah,
crushed
like a
under a
cousin.
log.
Yeah, like a brood sister. Like he has his
Yeah.
like twin brother, and then like one of the other. So Nicol Bolas hates humans. Yes.
And they get separated for a while, like you said, and then Ugin goes off and learns, like, becomes way more cultured, learns everything about the multiverse, while Nicol Bolas just gets up to no good, takes over Dominaria. He's like whispering in people's ears and making them do things that they don't want to do. And
Yeah,
stuff.
that's true. He's like Jafar to a Dragon King as well. He like manipulates one guy. He gets a dragon killing poison from dragon hunters.
Damn, you guys actually remember a lot. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But not the one thing I asked you, which was how the episode ended.
Yeah.
I don't remember how Nicol Bolas gets a spark, or if he gets
So
banished from
he didn't get his
Dominaria.
spark.
I don't
He didn't
remember
get his-
that at all.
He didn't get his spark in the last episode.
Okay.
Instead, the last conversation that they had, Bolas was mad at Ugin, was jealous of Ugin and his ability to planeswalk, and wanted Ugin to show him. And Ugin naturally had reservations after seeing everything that his brother was capable of. And then Bolas tried to use because Nicol Bolas uses like mind magic to like control people. That's like his most prevalent superpower, I guess. And tried to use that on Ugin to convince him to share the secrets of planeswalking.
He's good at politicking at the table, you know.
Exactly.
Very,
Yeah,
very
exactly.
good,
And Ugin planeswalked away. So Ugin was like I'm never coming back
Okay.
here. You're small. You might be a tyrant, but you'll only ever be a tyrant of this one world, whereas I have a multiverse.
Yeah. Okay.
And he comes back to Tarkir.
He's a big tyrant
the
fish in a small
planeswalker.
tyrant pond. Yeah.
Exactly. So
You'll
here's
only ever be a dictator here on this one plane and never anywhere else.
a-
And then he vanishes. He's like, well, I went well. Never have to see him again.
Yeah, I'm glad it won't come up again, huh?
Yeah.
Here's a quote from the Chronicles of Bolas, a Familiar Stranger by Kate Elliott. I also can't stop saying Bolas weird. I don't know. It's
Bolas?
coming. You know, you ever say a word too much and it's sounding weird to you? It's sounding weird to me.
I was thinking of the word jumbo today. That's a
weird.
It's a weird one.
Mhm.
Because I was thinking about like they have hot dogs that are normal hot dogs, and they had ones that are called juicy jumbos, which
Yeah.
is a crazy thing to sell someone to eat. First of all,
Juicy Jumbo.
yeah,
That's it. That's what you go to a strip club to find. Right?
Yeah.
and then I just started thinking about the word jumbo, and it's just such a silly word, man, just by itself. Anyways,
Okay, here's a quote. The dragon falls in confusion, opening its wings at the last moment to settle atop a jagged peak. But this is not the smooth-sloped Birth Mountain presiding over a magnificent, rich landscape. This is a wild, stormy, rugged world only half-born called Tarkir. Ferocious winds greet the dragon in savage gusts. The mountains sing, spilling areas of fiery lava, and the rivers gush in a rushing chatter of delight. The hearts of the dragon feel touched as by home. This wilderness can be tended, not to create the garden of his desires, but to become itself, to fulfill the promise of his nascent soul. So he burrows into the soil and digs out the creatures of the earth. He swims in the churning rivers and restless seas and heavy mires, and each foamy ripple boils a myriad of creatures into the waters. The beat of his wings crack thunder and lightning through the sky, and this tempest births dragons. Even fire begets living things, splendid in their heat and beauty.
Right. He was kind of a crunchy dragon, very at peace with the world. I remember drawing him burning incense. I think that's why that's in my head. And
I think he had a bong in your picture. I think he was ripping a bong.
Those two things are like a set, though, right? Because your landlord won't get suspicious that this white guy with dreads is constantly burning incense, incense, like a Chinese fortune teller. Okay.
Yeah, so Ugin in his time on Tarkir would give life to Tarkir. He's essentially God. So we talked about the birth of dragons when we talked about Ugin and Nicol. They were like created from like the wing beats of this being called the Dragon, right?
Yes.
It's the first known dragon in the multiverse,
which is,
gave birth to dragons on Dominaria.
that is the most played commander deck.
Yeah.
It is the Dragon.
The
It's like
Dragon.
the Omega OP deck right now.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That does make sense. I mean,
Yeah, it does. It makes sense. Or you could be a
Yeah,
goblin or something, or a vampire, and then be nearly.
Yeah.
twice
It'd be
as
very embarrassing if you
Nearly
still
as good.
won. like a vampire guy, or the goblin would be just a shame. It defeats the commander deck of the Dragon, where it's like,
Does very often, I think.
I think it's
Krenko's an asshole, man.
Krenko is beating the Dragon somewhere in the world right now, I'm sure.
oh,
Yeah.
in a strip club.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ugin's doing similar, right? Where like, and this is obviously like untold time later. But clearly he's been like traveling a lot the multiverse. He's a planeswalker, the first planeswalker I think we know of in like the timeline. He might be the
really?
first ever. Yeah, because I mean dragons are very old. He's very old. And I can't think of one who would have come before him, basically. Like even Yawgmoth and stuff like that. Like Dominaria was a plane of like human civilizations when Yawgmoth and Urza were people, whereas
Right.
like
Yeah.
Ugin definitely, like, he was there when humans were tribal people on Dominaria, right? So might be
Yeah.
the first planeswalker. I don't know that for sure. Type in the comments if he is. I don't know. But it seems like he has this inherent magic. The magic of his soul is enough to create plants and deer and the humans who would form the clans in the early days of the plane. So Tarkir is set from, I want to say 10 or 12 years ago, something like that. And it's basically like there was the cons of Tarkir and then there's the dragons of Tarkir, and it was all about like humans and dragons, right? Clans of humans versus big dragons, basically. And there was one, I think, an updated set in, I don't know, 2021, 2022,
Dragon
something
Storm. Tarkir
like
Dragon
that.
Storm.
Yeah, Tarkir Dragonstorm, exactly.
Okay, cool.
And Ugin would also give birth to something called the Dragonstorm. Huh. Who knew, huh? So this is a magical tempest which is capable of birthing new dragons. So he creates a storm which just gives birth to dragons on the plane of Tarkir, basically.
Oh, he doesn't even have to do it anymore.
Yeah, I don't know
Automation
how much
took his job?
Yeah, exactly. He automated
Oh,
a lot of
fuck.
the job. So I don't know how much of it is like he needs to focus on it. I know like later on in the story we'll talk about him like sitting at the center of the maelstrom, but I don't think that's always the case. It does also seem like I'm not going to call it retconning, but like it's been clarified a little bit as the story's kind of progressed. And I know that in the first set in the stories they often talked about like storms would appear, like they would move, and it wasn't like kind of this central storm. I'm going to say Loreboy's canon there might actually be an actual canon out there. Loreboy's canon is there's a big central storm, and then that can like spin off smaller storms around the area, which can just, you might just be like, damn, looks like rain, and then a dragon shows up and
Okay.
breathes acid lightning on you. You know.
Your boss would still
So-
expect you to be on time, even if your
Of
car
course.
melted.
Yeah, yeah.
right.
Well, you know, you should leave early. You check the forecast, see if there's acid lightning dragons, and if there are, you leave a little early, okay, champ? All right. Gonna have to write you up for this. All right. I'll CC HR in the email, and let's get back to work. Okay.
Oh man, written warning for having your car melted is crazy. I would do verbal personally, but I haven't.
But
I haven't
never
managed
make
staff
an
in a
insurance
while.
claim. That's what we learned, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
I don't care how many dragons breathe acid on your car. You never talk to the cops or insurance. So Ugin felt bad for the humans, creating not just them, but also these monstrous apex predators capable of hunting them. So he gives them concealment magic. He gives them some other magic. He kind of tips the scales in the other directions towards humans, but unknowingly for now, right? He spreads these gifts out. So like this is kind of the reckoning of like why the blue-green tribe uses like concealment and mutation magic versus like the red-white tribe has, you know, faster magic or something like that, right? It's just to align with like the color identities when you're playing the game. But the lore is that Ugin spread out these different types of magic so that one clan wouldn't necessarily just take over all the clans with the most powerful
Cool,
magic.
yeah. Mutation magic, racing stripes, as we've established.
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
Like...
exactly.
Again, it's
wait,
just orc logic, I guess.
couldn't you just mutate into something with racing stripes though? Huh?
Like a zebra? Maybe, eh?
Yeah, that's why zebras are the fastest animals. Of course, the most racing stripes.
Mhm.
Oh no, wait, it's cheetahs because their racing stripes are they're infinite stripes, right? Like it's a stripe that's bent into a circle on itself. So
Right. Oh, okay. That's like a
Oh.
philosophy question. Like,
yeah.
is a circle not simply a?
So Ugin wouldn't have time for balance patches. He had an apex predator of his own on his tail, right? The magnetic Nicol Bolas, his twin brother, real rude dude. right? Bolas had been so enraged seeing that Ugin could planeswalk that his own planeswalker spark ignited. That
Oh
was
no.
literally his brother being like, "You're gonna be trapped here forever, bro," and like vanishing in a puff of smoke was like enough, like tilted enough that he unlocked planeswalking.
You buried the lead like Jimmy Hoffa earlier when I said that, and it was just like, okay, like I thought he, for some reason in my head I remember him kidnapping planeswalkers, but that's the Phyrexians who have to do that, right?
Yeah, so the Phyrexians complete planeswalkers. He does mind control planeswalkers, Bolas.
Right.
Like he has done. He did it with Liliana for a long time. Is probably the one we talked about the most.
Oh yeah.
Liliana
Okay.
was like his
Yeah.
servant for a long time, and I think Jace ends up freeing her from that. These are
Okay.
two planeswalkers in the campaign.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, he does like mind control them. He'll mind control a planeswalker in this very episode. So
Wow.
look forward to it.
I have a question actually.
Huh?
Does time pass differently on different planes? I can't remember. So did he get his planeswalker spark? Ugin's now giving magic to mankind to fight dragons with the dragon hurricane.
There probably are planes which
Okay.
use like have faster time or slower time or something like that. Like there probably
Okay.
is one at some point in this 40-year-old story that's happened. But generally speaking, we use like a central, like whenever you look up like dates, it'll always use like the dates on Dominaria. It'll use like AR, which is like their
Okay.
CE or AD or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was even looking at, because I'm like, I know the or not the planeswalker, the commander that I prefer the most right now is in the world of Tarkir. So I kind of just like Googled on the side, like my Taval the Balanced Scale, who's like a spirit dragon and all this stuff. And I'm like looking at the events around this, and it seems like they were in Tarkir just like at a completely different time than what you're talking about now. Even Tarkir itself has so much depth that the characters can like not even meet or just be completely separate. Yeah.
We'll talk. Stop googling stuff. We're gonna talk about
Sorry.
your guy and how he comes around.
Nice.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Just say,
Good.
I mean, it's the same as the real world. There's
engage
like
with
we'll
us,
never be in
and
this.
we'll get there.
Yeah. Sorry. I wanted to know how my favorite little character fits into the story, but I trust.
How do you think I wrote this episode, Jamie? Come on.
All right.
Give me a little credit, would you? So, he goes looking for Ugin, right? Bolas, that is. So Bolas and Ugin would confront each other many times throughout the years. It's hard to tell. I'm gonna say Lore Boys canon again. Bolas didn't find Tarkir necessarily. Instead, they would meet in a place called the Meditation Realm, which we have talked about ages ago. I don't even remember when, like, what episode we were talking about it on, but we have talked about like Bolas's Meditation Realm. It's not Bolas's yet, but there's this subplane of Dominaria, which is described as like it's very still water, and Ugin would go there to meditate, basically. Bolas ends up finding him there, and they would have these like battles there, but they're both kind of like astral projecting into the plane. Neither of them's like really there.
Oh,
And they would go there to
style. You could like, sit and meditate
kinda,
and then fight each other and then just wake up from the meditation there. Okay, got it.
Yeah, and I mean Ugin's kind of a master of that. He is the spirit, or will become the spirit dragon at some point, right? But this is probably like the genesis of that like spirit dragon energy where he can like astral project himself to this other plane where he meditates.
Cool.
They go to this neutral ground. They duke it out from time to time. Bolas hates Ugin, right? Ugin pities Bolas, right? Just wants his brother to like be normal and be nice, not be megalomaniac, terrible person. But in Bolas's telling, it might seem the other way. So we have a quote from Perspectives by Kate Elliott, and this is as the story as told by Bolas. So it's from his perspective.
Got it.
I'm the best. No one respects me. I am always correct. It is ridiculous.
So you may imagine my shock and my joy when I walked out of the blind eternities into the place I had come to call my meditation realm, only to find Ugin there. He was floating atop the water, staring at himself as if he could imagine nothing better than to look at his own reflection. Ugin, how is it you are here? I am overjoyed to see you, brother, for I feared I had lost you forever. But he had no words for me. He had only animosity, driven by his anger and envy and resentment and bitterness, by the memory of mocking, condescending laughter, by the fear I would reveal the truth about things he did not want others to know, and that those others would believe me over him. He attacked, viciously and without warning, all raw fury and malignant resentment. I had no choice but to defend myself. First above the wide waters of the meditation realm, and then on a wild plummeting path through the plains. We struggled for days, years, generations. We battled with claw and tooth and with magic. And on the struggle raged, for he was unrelenting, rejecting all my attempted overtures for a truce. All he wanted was to kill me for the crime of walking the plains before he did. His hearts were eaten out by jealousy for what I had not shared with him.
Okay.
Uh,
All right, dude. Well, there's a couple lies in there right off the bat, huh?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we talked about astral projection. What about regular projection, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Bolas really has a chip on his shoulder. I did post a picture of the two of them fighting. I'll let you guess which one of them is the spirit dragon.
I'm gonna say bright teal, bright green.
Yeah, the spirity looking one.
Yeah. Oh, I
the two
used
would
this as a color reference. I remember this picture from the last time. Yeah, I really liked the colors in the astral projected version of him.
Yeah, it's nice with like the foreground red fire in front as well.
And the
If you
teal-
wanna
That's
see
also
the
how I
picture-
found out he was green. Nicol Bolas. I always thought he was brown because a lot of the cards are so dark. He's more like goblin-y.
It varies. It varies a little bit, and I think he maybe looks more green because he's catching the light off Ugin here. But there's
Okay.
plenty of I think there's plenty of reference pictures where he is quite brown. But different artists do art for the cards, right? So different people are drawing him however many times. If you want to see the pictures, you can subscribe to our Patreon. We post them in the Discord for the patrons, or you can look up Bolas and Ugin, and you'll find a million pictures of both of them. So yeah, they're battling for untold time. They're always coming back to the meditation realm to revisit their old conflicts. I think it's safe to say that Bolas was probably just showing up to murder Ugin, and Ugin was trying to convince his brother again to just chill out. But the quote continues. What could I do? There was no placating him. In the end, by diverse paths, we returned to the meditation realm. There, purely in self-defense, I killed him. With a mighty splash, he fell into the still waters. The impact resounded like thunder. Monstrous waves rose from the displacement and swept across the craggy islets, crashing and destroying as they went. The waves ran on and on, washing far beyond the bounds of the meditation realm into the realm of connection that links the planes themselves, and maybe even into the blind eternities, whose depths even dragons cannot plumb. The waves spilled out of the meditation realm as if Ugin's death had, like a weight dropped upon ceramic bowl, broken cracks in the vessel itself. So this guy tells a lot of lies, but Ugin was killed. This is Ugin's death. We've glossed over kind of the middle part of his life here. Well, how do you be a spirit dragon if you got a body, right? So this is Ugin's death, and it was so explosive that it like breaks the meditation realm, which will eventually be repaired by Bolas and used as kind of the seat of his power. But the dragon storm back on Tarkir, or the dragon storms back on Tarkir with Ugin's death, those storms which birth dragons, they cease their fluctuations until they eventually stop producing dragons at all on Tarkir.
Oh fuck! Okay.
Damn, he's gonna fix the meditation
Mediterranean.
Mediterranean.
Where Pete's from?
Please. Listen, guys, you have to pay a little bit of taxes, or else the government will continue running out of money. Apparently, there's a renovation scam in Greece. My mom once told me about. Is like, I don't know if it's the same here. I've been parts of renovations, but never done it myself. You don't have to pay property tax when you're renovating.
Oh, there's a thing in Greece I've heard. Yeah.
People will start projects.
Mm-hmm.
And then just leave the renovation sign in the window until it's bleached by the sun and never pay taxes on their house, basically. So the government keeps going broke.
Yeah, I think a very common one is a pool. So people will just dig a hole for a pool and then never fill it with water. And say, we're still working on it. Yeah.
I got scammed in New Orleans, and it's a common one. If you go there, there's a very good chance that they'll try this on you. There's people who walk on the street, and they'll strike up a conversation with you, very friendly, and they'll be like, "Where'd you get those shoes?" And what you should always say is just say, "I got them on my feet," and keep walking. But I did not know that. And this happened to me like 3 more times after the first time. But the first time I said, he's like, "I bet you I can tell you where you got those shoes. I bet you $20. $20 I can tell you where I got those shoes." Right? And then there's like, I was like, there's no way, dude. Like I got these in Montreal. Like I'm like so far away, right? Yeah. And then he squirts. He has a bottle in his pocket, and he takes it out and he squirts soap onto your shoe, and he starts cleaning them. And he says, "You got them on your feet. You just got scammed. If anyone asks you, say they're on your feet." And then he gives you a shoe shine, and you give him $20, and he goes on.
Okay.
So
okay.
It's a decent scam. I mean, you get a shoe shine out of it, I guess,
Yeah.
right?
That's not too bad.
yeah. So if you're in New Orleans, that is a common thing. I've heard it on other podcasts and stuff too. Just say on your feet, and you'll save yourself $20. Yeah.
Get a shoe shine on
Say-
Heelys in New
if-
Orleans that you bought at
Yeah.
Zelda's.
If someone in New Orleans comes up to you and says, "Where'd you get those shoes?" You say, "They're under renovation."
Oh, there we go.
I think I get it.
Yep.
So the dragons of Tarkir no longer being produced. There's no new dragons being born on Tarkir. They would be hunted over to the last over the next few millennia. They're hunted to extinction on Tarkir. This is kind of where the Khans of Tarkir kind of take control, right?
Okay.
Now, fun pop quiz for you. Khans of Tarkir was the first expansion, so I'll let you guys puzzle how we get dragons back, huh? Ugin, as distracted as he was, hadn't noticed before he died. Selfish. The precarious balance between predator and prey that had invented pointy sticks on Tarkir, right? So they weren't that helpless. They'd been locked in. The clans of Tarkir had been already kind of actively hunting dragons pretty ruthlessly, and the sudden dearth of new dragons was just the opening that they needed to kind of take over, right? So in the void following, the 5 warrior clans of Tarkir, Abzan, Mardu, Jeskai, Sultai, and Temur, rise to dominate the plane. Jamie, which one are you? Which one's your guy?
I'm Sultai, which is black,
Sultai.
blue, green.
Yeah, Sultai Arisen. So using the ancient draconic gifts Ugin had given them, they turn their warriors against each other now that the dragons are gone and Tarkir remains engulfed in war, right? Now it's just the clans are fighting each other instead of fighting dragons, right? Among one of these clans, 1,280 years after Ugin's death, and that's Dominaria years, Peter.
Thank you.
And almost as long since the last dragon was killed. The last dragon was killed probably like 1,000 years ago. This is like 1,300 years ago. A man known as Sarkhan Vol is born. There's a picture of Sarkhan for you.
Jeez,
He grows
rat.
up. No, he's a dude.
He's not a vole at all.
He's like a necromancer. He's got a lot of anger in his face. It looks like he's
He's an angry guy. That's for sure. He's a real rude dude.
I'm trying to find the DC character he looks like. Like the guy, he's a goth dude on a motorcycle. He looks like this. Hang on.
Ghost Rider. He did.
No,
He did
that's
kind of
Marvel.
get. He did kind of get the Marvel treatment a little bit, where he's he's not nearly. He was a bad guy back in the day. Lobo, Sheriff Lobo.
Sheriff Lobo.
So this guy, Sarkhan Vol, grows up to be a warrior of the Mardu Horde. He rises right up to the rank of general. Okay. He's a weird dude, though. Okay. So again, he was born 1,300 years after Ugin was dead. Dragons have been dead for 1,000 years when he's born, right? He's not particularly in love with being a soldier, but he does spend his free time, worshiping the long dead dragons. He's like obsessed with dragons. He's like, damn, I wish dragons were around. He believes the world would be better if we could just get one strong, charismatic dragon to lead them. You know what I mean?
I mean, people still do that. The Pope's been
Enough
dead
with
for
elections.
a couple years now.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Enough
People
elections.
still worship him.
Just give me a dragon, please. After a victory in battle over a rival clan, Sarkhan would get his first glimmer of hope in that regard. Okay? Here's a quote from the novel Alara Unbroken by Doug Baer. The spirit of a long-dead dragon appeared to him, whispered a spell into his mind, and then vanished forever. With the incantation of the spell, a huge dragon made of fire streaked out of Sarkhan's body and invaded the battle, blasting the battlefield with a torrent of fire. Fascinated, Sarkhan watched as his men and those of his enemy were burned to cinders. It was a display of ultimate rage and power that surpassed anything he had ever seen. It stoked a passion in him that had never before flared to life, and along with it, his planeswalker spark. So a mystery dragon pops into his head one day after a battle, and he summons like a giant flaming dragon from his own soul, and ignites his planeswalker spark.
Wonder what that feels like. Huh? Pulling a giant flaming dragon out of your own soul? That can't be a...
Yeah. You know when you
Comfortable.
get when you have like a really dried booger and you get it and it like comes out from like all the way up here. I bet it
Right.
feels like that.
Oh
I bet
yeah,
it feels really good. Yeah.
yeah.
I bet it would like hurt until it didn't. You know what I mean? Like that, getting the first part of the dragon out of does it come out your mouth? Like,
Yeah. It's like
bleh.
it's the first time you piss out a kidney stone, it really sucks, right? But then by the
Right.
10th time you're like, "Oh, yeah."
That's
Yeah.
Huh?
that's
No,
what I
give me
hear.
my
About,
fourth Gatorade of the day, please. This is fine.
yeah, that's what I hear about kidney stones. That they just keep getting better over time. Yeah.
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 You heard it here first, folks. Lobo's canon, right?
You don't need water.
Yeah.
So he gets like dragon magic, Sarkhan. He gets his planeswalker spark, so he can travel the multiverse now. He also gains the ability to transform into a dragon. So
Oh, cool.
here's a picture of what he looks like as a dragon. Doesn't look like a good guy, I guess.
His arms look strangely small next to that big chest. I feel
That
like.
big chest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Like,
had
very
the dumbest thought ever because Lobo, the DC character who looks like him, is a biker. And I was like, one of my neurons fired off. It was like, if this dragon looks like a motorcycle, I'm going to go insane.
Some of
It
the
is
dragon. Like I find there's such cool designs. Like I really gravitate towards the dragon cards. Here's like another one that's just in the Taval precon deck, like Colossal Grave Reaver. They're like just so cool looking. This one's got like a bigger back and like the wings, and it looks more like it's on all fours compared to that one that's on all twos. And yeah,
That's one of my favorite parts
not
about
much.
Monster Hunter is just like everything's a dragon, basically, especially in the end
Yeah.
game, and they all look different. There's like so many ways to just deal with like wings and limbs and just a different breath. You just change the color of it, right?
yeah, they're rad.
Yeah. So Sarkhan leaves Tarkir, sad little dragonless plane, right? He goes searching for more dragons. He's like, cool, I'm a dragon, but now I want to go find some real fucking dragons. I can travel the multiverse, right?
Right.
So he winds up on Jund, one of the shards of Alara, which is a plane rife with dragons for the worshipping. Thank goodness, right? We have talked about Jund. We have talked
Is
about
that the
Alara.
Viking one?
No, that's Kaldheim, which we haven't talked about. Alara was when we talked about Elspeth. Elspeth is from Alara, and it's like a plane where like they broke the plane so that there was like shards of magic. So they broke it into 5 basically. So like they separated the colors out from each other. It's been a long time. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
That was 2019 because I remember the third Jessica episode. I was in Mexico City. I hadn't
Not
even.
Jessica. That's not what I said. I said Elspeth.
Oh, sorry, Elspeth. That's what I meant. I just said it
Okay.
wrong.
Okay.
Yeah,
We haven't
thrice
had a series
touched.
about Jessica, though.
Wait, who's thrice touched?
That's Jessica.
Oh,
That's
fuck.
Jessica.
Never mind.
That's okay. There's a lot of magic we've covered over the years,
Yeah.
and their names are pretty similar.
We're getting good at it, for the record. I know JB's into the game now.
I was astounded by how much you guys remembered from last.
Yeah,
episode.
he and I have been
The last-
outsiders for a while, and he's just getting into it now. I think you do a good job in educating us. I'll give you the credit on that.
You do, and it's like the reasons I don't remember it is because it's until now there's nothing to like tie it to another piece of information in my brain. So now that I'm playing with the cards, it's a lot easier to remember because you can like ground it and tie it to something, right? So that's why it helps.
You'll
Try using it at work.
Yeah.
What's that?
I try using it at work. Just like I hope this email finds you thrice touched, and then just immediately get fired.
You will see because you're just starting your Magic journey. You will see an Elspeth Planeswalker at some point. There's a lot of very good Elspeth cards. I've never seen a Jessica card played.
Okay.
But, you'll see an Elspeth one for sure.
Cool.
So he arrives on Jund, this shard of Alara. He arrives at a bad time, however. He lands in the middle of a fight between 2 humans and the dragon Malektoth. Don't need to remember that name. This dragon's about to die and never be brought up again. So.
Cool.
So without time to properly swear fealty to this dragon, right, and not wanting to catch a stray from the dragon, right, catch a stray murdering by dragon, Sarkhan ends up assisting the 2 humans in killing the dragon.
Okay.
Malektoth is what a Greek person calls another Greek person whenever they don't pay rent because they're doing renovations or whatever.
So he kills this dragon. He helps these humans kill this dragon. He's not happy about it, though, obviously. He's like, damn, all my life I've just wanted to see a dragon. The first dragon I see, I literally help these people kill it, right? Um, he
Are
he
you guys
does
gonna worship that?
yeah.
Can I? Just like covered in blood.
Yeah. So he does eventually turn on. He travels with like the human for a while, who's like introducing him to the plane. Her name's Rakamar, and he turns on her for the death of Malaktoth. But before he could burn her to a crisp, she makes him an offer. Okay, she says, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! You misunderstand. Okay, come meet my master, and everything will be okay, basically, right?" Rakamar, unlike her associate, who was just a human who wanted to kill dragons, she wasn't a human bent on killing all dragons. She worked for a dragon bent on killing all dragons, or at least all the dragons he needed to ensure his own
Okay.
rule. Nicol Bolas, right?
Oh, it's not Rakanishu. Damn.
So
Wait, what's
Sarkhan,
Rakanishu? That's what that one guy says in Diablo 2.
it's his name too.
It's
Also,
Oh, is
Rakanishu.
it?
put some respect on Rakanishu's name.
Right.
A lot of the little carver demons will say Rakanishu, and then there's the one Rakanishu who guards the portal to Tristram in the Stony Field.
Right. You've
But
been
why
playing...
did you say it, Peter?
Yeah, why did
It's just that it's other than stay a while and listen, it's the second line of dialogue I know from Diablo
Okay.
2. I was watching Kyle play it 20 years ago.
You do know it from Diablo 2 then. Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
good. I thought it was in Magic somehow too. So okay, at least everything lives.
Yeah,
in
which
its-
I've never played.
Good.
Too, yeah.
We got to get Pete into it. We're trying to entice him. We got to.
We'll do
I-
it.
Yeah.
The problem is every time we hang out, he does a 120 milligram gummy and then falls asleep at 8 o'clock. And it's like,
That's
all
not true.
Cuddles on the
Not every
couch
time.
with Ethan's mom and then falls asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So Sarkhan meets Bolas, and he pledges himself to Bolas. He's like, "Now here's a dragon I can get behind. Right? Here's somebody
Yeah.
I can finally frickin' worship." He offers the ancient beast his blood. He makes a blood pact with Bolas, and for his fealty and services was given his own flight of dragons. So he gets 5 dragons that he gets to command, boss around, basically, right?
Nice.
Everything coming up Sarkhan.
You get a company
And then it's
car.
just like,
You get an office. These 5 guys, they'll do whatever the fuck you want, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
Get
exactly.
out there, King.
It's the everything's coming up Millhouse meme, but instead of water, it's just like dragons. It's like dragons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It's just
there
like cuddled around his ankles, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah. He's got to roll up that giant robe, though. Does he have like a clam digger robe now? It's like folded up the seam.
Sure, we'll say so. I mean,
Okay.
he gets like he ends up in, I think the latest iterations he's in like leather tights. I think so.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
He glows up. Don't worry.
My sabatons are soaking wet, but my robe is bone
So
dry.
Yeah. So Sarkhan leads his flight of dragons in service of Bolas on Alara. Okay, he's like, cool. Look, this is it. I'm in now. And he does that until his master is defeated on Alara, of course. Now, this is when we did talk about Alara on the Elspeth episodes. A cool cat by the name of a Johnny Goldmane manages to harness some magical power and summon an effigy of Bolas's own soul and manages to banish the dragon from Alara. Okay, so a Johnny defeated Bolas on Alara. You can go listen to our Elspeth 2.
remember
think,
that
is the one we
happening,
talked
yeah.
about that.
I thought it happened in the
Um,
meditation realm briefly, which is why I wanted to ask if it was the same meditation realm. So I would have been
It is.
wrong. Oh, it is. Okay.
Well, we're on Alara. It doesn't happen on the meditation realm. I mean, some of that might have happened on the meditation realm, but this is happening
Okay.
on Alara. But Bolas does like return to the meditation realm after it like reforms after Ugin's death, because it does like over time reform. That's like his seat of power. It becomes known as Bolas's meditation realm, but it was Ugin's
Okay.
first. Like as with all things with Bolas, like Ugin did it first, basically.
Okay. Okay.
So Sarkhan, searching for a dragon zaddy for all this time, only to see him destroyed by a cat boy, begins to go insane. We were just talking about Bolas's embarrassment on Alara, right? Where he got spanked by a cat boy. He sends Sarkhan to Zendikar, another plane, right? Where he was to find something called the Eye of Ugin. Do you guys remember what the Eye of Ugin was?
Oh my god.
Is
Oh.
this is a deep cut for you guys for sure. It's not like that old of an episode, but we didn't spend a lot of time talking about the Eye of Ugin specifically.
I feel like it's the other orb MacGuffin that we talked about that may or may not have been Oh fuck, I can't remember. I'm forgetting his name now. The Chrome Golem.
Is it?
Karn.
Karn. It's
Doesn't
not.
doesn't
It's
involve
not.
Karn.
It's not like the Eye of Ugin isn't like the like an orb, is it? It's like a magical orb that he had at one point.
Is it?
No,
Is it
you're
like a
thinking of Memnarch. maybe.
toenail that like fell off from the dragon while she was flying by or something?
No, I
No.
don't think so.
Okay, I
So-
can't remember at all.
Oh, I was thinking about Memnarch.
Ugin?
You're right.
Ugin of course, had a long life of planeswalking before being killed by his brother, right? Too much for us to cover in a single episode. That's why we do so many of these ding-dang episodes, right? So
Yeah.
we talked about it on our Soren Markov / Innistrad episode,
Okay.
but Ugin was one of the 3 planeswalkers responsible for first defeating the 3 Eldrazi Titans, Kozilek, Ulamog, and Emrakul. Okay? Eldrazi are the Lovecraftian, like, they are from the Blind Eternities, and they are like formless, shapeless, horrible monsters of like tentacles. They're colorless in terms of like the mana and like the lore of the mana. They use like colorless mana exclusively.
I was jealous. I saw today someone at their Walmart, they like mistagged the price and they got a commander deck Eldrazi for like $12.99 or something like that. So sick.
That is sick.
Yeah,
I mean, doing this episode too, I was like, God, I hope they bring the Eldrazi back because I will go. I like that is a set I would go so hard in. I love the Eldrazi so
Yeah.
much. I love the idea now of like making an Eldrazi deck, but it's just expensive to buy like some of these cards. But I
Yeah.
sent a picture of like Emrakul, the Aeon's Torn, or this isn't the Aeon's Torn. This is the other.
Oh, I
thing
remember
I'm
this
thinking
thing. Yeah.
of. Yeah, exactly. Just a big tentacle monster from the sky, basically.
There was also the big other one that was like made of dirt with like tentacles behind it. Everything it touched turned into bismuth. I drew that one. That's why I remember that.
Yeah, I want to say that's Ulamog, but maybe it's Ulamog Kozilek, maybe. But I think it's Ulamog with the tentacle.
Kozilek just sounds like a Polish guy's name, and I may have said that 5 years ago.
True. I think the Innistrad episode was actually fairly recent in terms of our Magic episodes, but actually I was thinking like 2022, but damn, that's 4 years ago, huh?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Shit.
Sorry for the psychic damage I just dealt everyone, but
When you said Markov, so is Innistrad the vampires that I see all over the place, like Edgar Markov and stuff? That's Innistrad?
Soren Markov is Edgar's son. Yes, and I
Okay.
believe we must have talked about Edgar when we talked about Soren, but
Okay.
I believe Edgar is the patriarch.
Okay,
I
Edgar
don't
is
remember
like
anything.
the second most played commander deck, and it's a vampire deck
Yeah.
that's toxic. So now I have
Yeah.
something to go.
Oh, Edgar's his grandfather. Excuse me, is Soren's grandfather.
Okay, episode 197. Been a while. Holy.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go.
I was just looking at this. I was like, I don't know what I was on. Love this picture. Pass Pete.
Yeah.
Couple of bangers here and there.
Never mind. It must have been a long time ago.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like
I'm
I
washed.
just wrote it. Okay, so Soren,
Markov.
Ugin, and another planeswalker known as Nahiri were the first ones to defeat the Eldrazi Titans. Again, listen to the Innistrad episode if you want to hear about that. But they had imprisoned them in a network of these supposedly unbreakable. They're called Hedrons. I didn't grab a picture, but I can probably grab one for you now. They're like big, like stone diamonds, basically. And this is like
Okay, yeah.
this is Nahiri's kind of bag. Is these like Hedrons? They're like magical rocks. Oh shit! Take a drink. Magic rocks capable of things, and like Nahiri, the artificer, is known for making them. So she makes these Hedrons along with Markov's magic, and then also Soren like lures the Eldrazi here to Zendikar. And they do it on Zendikar specifically because Zendikar has very powerful like directed ley lines in the plane. And so they build this like trap of Hedrons at the focal point of a bunch of ley lines. And they lock the Eldrazi down. They build a prison with a simple key, which is the Spirit Dragon's Breath, right? So they say the only way this can be opened now is if all 3 of us are here and Ugin breathes his spirit fire on it, right? Because he has a very particular kind of invisible fire that he uses as his breath attack.
Very specific
And
breakfast
this is the
he
Ivy.
has to get that type of breath every day. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
He has invisible hot sauce on his invisible eggs. So this is the Eye of Ugin, the prison.
No, just the
of
regular
the-
invisible eggs, please. Come right up.
Yeah. It's just a plate. There's nothing on it.
The salt and pepper shakers are empty as well, but he still like
Yeah.
ships through.
It's just like he has dementia. It's like one of those like old care homes where they like have they give like role playing scenarios for the seniors or whatever. You know? Where they got dementia. Eggs are good today. Not even.
Clink, clink.
Okay, so Bolas sends Sarkin here. He sends him to the Eye of Ugin, the prison where the Eldrazi are imprisoned, to guard it, right? To guard it. That's what he says. He says, guard it, make sure no one gets in, don't let anyone fuck with it. You know, I guess Bolas decided that the Eldrazi might be too spicy, even for his evil machinations, right? He's like, that's too much heat.
Is he gaslighting
Always.
this other dude? Okay.
Like Bolas's whole thing is gaslighting. That's like his whole shebang is he just gaslights people ceaselessly. His magic power is gaslighting. That's what he does. If you'll recall, he's a smaller dragon than most of the other dragons, right?
Yes, yeah.
Like he's just more cunning and evil and vicious. But he's like smaller and less like physically powerful than most other dragons.
That's what he calls his fire breathing. It's just gaslighting.
Gaslighting.
And Sarkin does his job. Sarkin goes to Zendikar. He goes to the Eye of Ugin. He stood watch at the Eye of Ugin, chilling in this obelisk of unspeakably evil eldritch horrors for a time, until two planeswalkers arrive to investigate the Eye. And again, he's chilling in this like next to the evil obelisk for all time untold. And again, he was kind of going insane from already from seeing Bolas die or from Bolas lose. Also, the dragon that popped in to speak to him and give him his dragon powers, he still kind of hears the voices of a dragon in his head from time to time.
Was it not Nicol Bolas like sending out like psychic gaslight feelers into the
He
planes?
doesn't know it. He doesn't know it as Nicol Bolas at the very least. You know what I mean? So it's like whether or not that's part of like all the machinations and Bolas is driving him mad, then who knows, right?
Okay. Yeah.
But two planeswalkers show up to the Eye of Ugin while he's guarding it, right? Because the Eye of Ugin was not a perfect prison. We've talked about it before, but there'd been a wave of Eldrazi at some point which had broken out, and these two planeswalkers, Chandra Nalaar and Jace Beleren, had come all this way to see if the seals were leaking or what. Like, is the prison failing? Are these things getting out? Spoiler alert, they are. It wasn't a perfect prison.
Whenever they took the Eye of Ugin away from Ugin, now they just call him Ugin. Right?
Ugin.
Ugin.
That's pretty good.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, Patreon link in the description. If you want to support that kind of comedy.
I'll be quiet now. I'll look at my magic cards and just listen now.
I'm learning so much.
I'll say I like it, but I do know that people like making fun of puns.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of puns.
Good.
So Chandra and Jace, excuse me, I skipped a paragraph. When they find Sarkin, they don't have the clearance to run an inspection, right? Sarkin's like, sorry, nobody's allowed into the Eye. I was told by my evil dragon master to not let anybody past, right? Naturally, a battle ensues between them. And at this point, Jace does have a history with Bolas, knows he's an evil guy, knows who Bolas is. Bolas had tried to mind control him. He had freed Liliana from Bolas's mind control.
Yeah, okay.
So they fight, basically. When Sarkin's like, I'm working for Bolas, they're like, cool, we're going to kill you.
Yeah, it's on site. That's super easy. That's just like, oh, hell yeah. We just came here to like fix a little leaky crystal faucet, basically.
Exactly. And found an op, you know? So
Yeah,
Chandra is a pyromancer. She's one of the Gatewatch. But she's fire magic is her thing. So the three of them are fighting right up until Chandra uses a particular brand of flame magic very similar to Ugin's own breath. She has like an invisible fire spell, which she uses basically. So now we have three planeswalkers and some invisible fire in the Eye of Ugin, right? Which we said was
this is
the key.
Playground rules, though, where it's just like, I cast my kind of like Ugin invisible fire.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
I dodge your fire. No, you don't. It's invisible. You can't dodge it. Okay.
Well, actually, you didn't even eat invisible eggs this morning, so it doesn't count.
Yeah. Shut up.
We can say like Lore Boy's canon because Jace is like illusion magic. We could say like Jace plus Chandra makes invisible fire. Makes some sense to me. But
Okay.
Basically, the key to open the Eye of Ugin was to have three planeswalkers, not those three specific planeswalkers, just three planeswalkers, and then cast invisible fire on it, basically, right? So They don't know that at the time, right? But there's kind of like an explosion. The Eye of Ugin clearly reacts. Chandra and Jace are like, we gotta go. Sarkhan's like bleeding out on the floor. They're like, this doesn't seem good. I think we might have just accidentally unleashed some Eldritch horrors on the world, so we should probably go read a book or something about it.
First thing we're gonna do is tell Nico Bolas that this guy failed, and then we are going to leave.
Yeah. So Sarkhan wakes alone. Okay, he wakes up. He's like looking at like the destroyed Eye of Ugin. He's like, I failed. I wasn't able to guard it from anyone. Like, I'll take a piece. I'll take a chunk of the Eye of Ugin. Like, he takes a small hedron, basically, one of these small like stones. And he's like, I guess my job here is done because nothing left to guard. So I'm gonna go back to Bolas's meditation realm. He heads back for the meditation realm.
It's like a prison, like a cop after the prison. Everybody in prison escapes. He's like, nothing left to guard. Guess I'm going home.
He grabs a bar from the prison. I guess I'll go see the governor.
Here's proof. Clang, 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 clang. Drops it on his desk.
Yeah, exactly.
And the guys just sit there, he's like, proof of what?
Yeah.
Jail's empty.
Just leaves. Proof, man. I don't know what you want from me. So he goes to the meditation realm where, again, Bolas this is his seat of power now. This is his headquarters. Sarkhan reports on what happened. And Bolas lets the shaman know that actually he'd done a good job. So unleashing the Eldrazi wasn't too spicy for Nicol Bolas's machinations. They were exactly the right level of spicy. I didn't look into, and maybe we talked about it when we talked about the Eye of Ugin, because I'm pretty sure we have before. Don't hold me to it. We must have on the Markov episode talked about this part. But maybe Bolas manipulated Chandra and Jace to returning there. I don't know. But we'll say that he did, and he sent Sarkhan there, and he said he knew this would happen, basically, and he wanted them to get loose. Okay. Not because he thinks he can take them. I think it's like one of those, I think that the rest of the world will deal with them, and I can make out like a bandit while everyone's focused on them, kind of deal, right? It's a misdirection. So he dismissed Sarkhan. He's like, good job. Leave. I have no other task for you right now. Okay. I will say, like, there is on Sarkhan's way out, he's like, hey, and don't worry, I always reward my subjects, and points to Tezzeret, another evil character who's worked with Bolas, who's like actively his like mind was being shattered by Bolas. He was in like a torture device being tortured by Bolas. He's like, I always take care of my subjects, buddy. Don't worry. On his way out.
Empty Tupperware. He's just like, invisible eggs for the road on your way out. He's like, yeah, thank you.
Exactly. Yeah, Tezzeret's just there like, there are no eggs. He gets like an electric shock, like say there's
like
eggs, damn it.
It's like corporate pizza party, but everything's invisible. It's just like empty boxes everywhere. It's like, great job this quarter, team.
Just the beautiful smell of eggs wafting out from those boxes, huh?
Oh yeah, they pump it through the vents. That's next level gaslighting, actually. That his invisible egg breath that like broke the Eye of Ugin.
So yeah, he dismisses Sarkhan. Sarkhan now is more broken now and more insane than ever, right? He's been through a lot. The voice in his head is still there, even after he's kind of leaving. Who knows what Bolas is up to? And he's like, I need a break. Dragons are a bit much, it turns out. I need a break from dragons. I'm heading home. So he returns to Tarkir. Tarkir was, after all, where he first fell in love with dragons, right? The platonic dragon is that lives on Tarkir, basically, right? Maybe there's something about don't meet your heroes in all this.
Oh yeah.
But he heads home because all the dragons on Tarkir are dead, right?
But there's probably 5 clans of people who've been getting up to no good since he left, right?
Yeah, they've been up to kind of the same old. Just like warring with each other, not gaining the balance. Like Ugin's like spreading out of the different kinds of magic, so one person couldn't master them all. Does seem to have worked fairly well. When he returns, however, the voice in his head does not get any chiller. If anything, it gets more insistent, right? So he's besieged by visions from this dragon, which has bound itself into his soul, which has given him the ability to transform into a dragon. He's just being beset by visions. He wanders Tarkir, finding no solace until he wanders into Jeskai lands, right? So the Khan of the Jeskai, Narset, eventually finds Sarkhan.
Jeskai
Narset
has a color too, right?
has
It's
3 colors.
blue,
all
red, white. Blue, red, white.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All the clans on Tarkir have they're 3 color combos.
Okay. And then like in like common speak, like I hear people talk about stuff when they're talking about decks and stuff. Like this one, the one that I have is like Sultai Arisen. Sultai is that name for that 3 color combination.
Those 3 color combos.
So
exactly.
even if it has nothing to do with dragons or with that clan of people, if I played those 3 colors, people would call it a Sultai deck, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's like
Uh,
a lot of combinations. I don't know how people remember them all, honestly. It's like,
yeah, I don't know. The brains are weird, right?
Yeah.
My brains hold on to certain things and not, how to do my taxes. And I got to look that up every year. It's an interesting
it's coming up, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm lying. I send them to a guy to do my taxes for me. Because he charges me whatever, a fucking arm and a leg, and then he makes me more money back. And I'm like, that was worth my time, dude.
Yeah.
I've been very behind in taxes in the past in my life, but I'm happy to say I'm all square with the government right
Damn.
now. Yeah.
Government's not even have to get Jamie anymore.
No.
2026. Blow up era.
Pretty nice.
Oh,
So
don't worry.
Narset.
We'll get the government back on his ass for something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well-
surely.
Well, actually, yeah.
Jamie
Now
doesn't know, but I'm wearing a wire right now. I'm recording this whole conversation.
I'm traveling again soon in a few months, but I got randomly searched for the second time on my way back to Canada from the States. And the guy who randomly searched me, but I'm like sick. It's like midnight. I'm like, I just want to go home. And they're just ripping all my stuff out. They're opening all the magic cards. He's like thumbing through them. I'm like, go easy, man.
Nice pull, buddy.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And he told me the reason why is there's another James Miller who did something real bad and is on a list. So now every time I travel, I'm getting flagged as a James Miller.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, your dad gave you the middle names Pablo and Escobar. It's kinda like,
It's funny you mentioned that. That's what he recommended. He's like, if you ever get your passport redone, add your middle names because then it'll differentiate you from whatever sex trafficker or whatever James Miller is out there.
I'm very sorry. Do they not have a photo of this James Miller at security?
It happened both times.
like,
I
is
chose.
this the Old West?
The Mission Impossible mask that you put on your head and look like a different person exists, Peter. Okay, so
Okay,
it's
fine.
not really
yeah.
an effective way of verifying.
Yeah.
A better way to do it is to rip open someone's bag and thumb through their magic cards. That's how you
Yeah,
really tell
way
people.
safer. Yeah, you don't have any smuggled people in there, do you? Just like
Yeah,
it's like
crazy, dude.
other James Miller's a human
Wait a
trafficker.
minute.
It's like,
There's a
hey,
person on this card.
I'm
Come
checking
with
for
me.
hostages. There's a person on this card. Who is she?
Yeah, like a lamp in your face, and then just like you can't even
Yeah.
see the card because it's in front of the light. Who is
Well,
she?
the security guard's never seen a photo in his life, so he wouldn't understand what a magic card is, right? Since they haven't
Yeah.
been provided to him, so he's
They-
just like, how'd you shrink her?"
Yeah. To be fair, we did say like magic cards, but Jamie was traveling with 5,000 copies of Earthbind, so maybe they did think that it was a little pixie woman in
Yeah.
bondage or something.
I'll put
Yeah.
Earthbind into the chat so that
For
can
Peter.
end up in
You
the
can look
video.
it up. Look it up at home. Look up
or-
Earthbind MTG.
I think Pete needs
Um,
to see it, especially. It's the
I-
very, very horny card. Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, is that the fairy with the hoof feet?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
no.
I remember.
No, it's not that one.
Oh,
It's a fairy, a little pixie in bondage, basically, for anyone
Yeah.
who doesn't want to look it up because you're on the bus or whatever. That's fair. So, Narset, leader of the Khan of the Jeskai, finds Sarkhan. Narset is a pretty infamous name as far as like a nasty commander goes. They're pretty infamous for being. I think back in the day, I think they've been power crept now pretty bad, but I think for a good while, Narset was like one of the most powerful commanders. One of them, not the new printing, obviously, not the Dragonstorm printing, but the old one. So Narset had, of course, been looking for Sarkhan when she found him, because she had been receiving her own visions, right? Which had sent her to find him, and she was able to finally soothe his troubled self somewhat. Basically, she's like, "Hey, it's cool, man. We all get mysterious voices of dragons sending us visions in our head. You're not alone, man.
Yeah.
You'll be okay." So Sarkin finds some solace with Narset, right? This is like what I would describe as his first friend in his life, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Not a dragon to worship, not other soldiers. Like this is just somebody who's like being nice to him and kind of showing him
Not just a whispering voice in his dreams. It was like the
yeah,
first
exactly.
person he ever met, right?
Not his sleep paralysis demon. It's kind
Yeah,
of
exactly.
You want to meet my other friend? Let's go to bed.
Yeah. My sleep paralysis demon is just a guy at airport security starts rifling through all your shit.
Man, drove me crazy, dude. I hope that doesn't. Is that just gonna happen for the next 10 years now? Thanks to this system, dude. Until I update my new passport, or what the hell?
And knowing you, your passport's probably due, right?
No, I got a new one because I lost it the last time, so it's
okay.
only a year
yeah.
old.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Did you get the
Yeah.
10-year one too?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm locked
Oh
in. To,
no.
I'll just
That's
start.
too bad.
I'll start preparing for random searches. Start putting like snakes loaded with springs into my bags and things like that.
In the peanut cans.
Yeah.
That can't be illegal, right?
No.
You must be able to just like that's. I mean, I'm surprised you don't see that more at the airport.
I've had enough of these motherfucking spring-loaded snakes on this motherfucking.
Oh, Peter found the Wikipedia article to the person they're mistaking you of. He died in 1908 or 1909.
Killer
Well, if they don't have
Miller.
a photo, it's perfectly like they could totally be looking for a guy for the past 127 years, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
there gotta be that.
I
Stupid.
googled
James
it.
Brown also ran into the same problem because of this guy.
I ended up googling it like after I got randomly searched, and I found some guy from Peterborough who was up to some weird stuff and running away from the law. So I think that's who they were looking for. Yeah.
So Sarkhan and Narset, right? They become friends. Sarkhan tells her of planeswalking, of the existence of other worlds, and he spoke of Nicol Bolas, who had killed Ugin over 1,000 years ago, right? Narset believes him. She had seen visions of other planes, even if she had never had magic puberty herself. She also knew Ugin was the soul of Tarkir, and that his death had thrown the plane out of balance. She believes that her visions are from Ugin, actually. So Narset believed that Tarkir had been stronger with the dragons, even though they'd lightning acided on people.
Right.
Although she never lived. She had never had to live through acid lightning, right? And she's like, well, times were better back then.
This is like when people go back to drinking raw milk now.
Yeah, and
Word.
when people are like, times were better in the 50s, it's like, you weren't there, and
Yeah.
no, they weren't.
Appliances looked way cooler, though. We can say that.
That's true. No
Facts.
doubt. They suffocated
Absolutely.
way more children, too, which is awesome.
The
You
dragon
almost
stuck in
never
the
hear
fridge.
about children being suffocated by a fridge these days.
Yeah.
True.
Dude, Ugin and Nico's sister just stuck in a fridge on the battlefield.
That's the meditation realm. The meditation realm was one of those old fridges with the latch handle. So Narset believes that Tarkir had been stronger with dragons and suggests that Sarkhan should stop searching for a dragon to worship and instead listen to the one in his head, right? Narset leads Sarkhan to Ugin's tomb, where his body lay. So Ugin, when he'd been killed in the meditation realm, he wasn't actually in the meditation realm, right? He was a spirit dragon, so he died on Tarkir. Along the way, however, they're attacked, and Narset, his only friend, is killed. With her dying breath, she urges Sarkhan forward to head for what she calls Ugin's Nexus. I'll send you guys a picture of Ugin's Nexus here. He continues forward until he reaches the Nexus. So yeah, this is the picture is it's Ugin's literal like spirit rib cage, and it's in the middle of his body, his literal body, right?
This is like the Museum of
awesome.
Natural Science in Ottawa, where you can walk in the whale bones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, the whale
Just like that.
nexus. Yeah, I love that. I love that exhibit.
And it's blue.
Yeah.
Blue whale is actually, fun fact, bigger than any dragon that's ever lived. Most people think it's the other way around. Mhm.
Well, dude, there's got to have been dragons, right? Like so many cultures recorded like these big flying snakes. Where were they? Where are they? They're somewhere.
Where are they? I think England killed them all. So Sarkhan's walking through this ribcage.
England colonized the dragons, but at least we got the food, huh?
Oh, yeah, you're
Dragon
right.
food
Yeah.
is so good. Yeah.
True.
I might order some tonight. I don't feel like cooking. It's late.
Yeah.
Sarkin he walks into this nexus. He gets to the rib cage and he walks forward into this like swirl of magic, and vanishes. He disappears. Sarkin's gone.
What?
He emerges above a mountaintop where he crashes against the snowy peak. He gets teleported basically. He hadn't planeswalked because he's familiar with planeswalking, so he knows he's still on Tarkir, but he's lost. He's like, I don't know where the flip I am right now. And for the first time in a long time, the voice of the dragon in his head is silent. He does not hear the voice of the dragon in his head. He's receiving no visions. And now he's a little bit upset by it. He's like, well, what the hell? When I finally started listening to you, and now nothing?
He lost both his friends in the same day. The one that gives him good advice and the one that tells him to start fires.
Yeah, exactly. He roars his fury. He's trying to summon the voice, but he's unable to. Instead, he summons a violent storm in front of him, and from it emerges a flight of dragons.
Oh.
Sarkin had arrived in Tarkir's past. He's time traveled. So he is in the past to when dragons still filled the skies.
Cool.
He's about 1,280 years in the past. Not that specific date should mean much to you guys, but
About 1,300 years ago, which is when they killed the last dragons.
Yeah. No, that was when they killed one specific dragon. 1,000 years ago was when they killed the last of the dragons. So Sarkin followed these fledgling dragons pop out of a storm that he creates with his voice. That's weird. And he starts to follow them. But then he sees these dragons, these young dragons who'd just been born, get attacked by a Timur woman who wields this fierce magic. Timur is just like, it's one of the clans. It's one of the 3 color combos. So then he follows the woman for a time. He's kind of like, okay, this woman's like pretty powerful. He like thinks about getting mad and like attacking her for killing the dragons, but then he kind of remembers like Narset's words about like there's balance, or there was balance in the past. So, it's more circle of life. He's a little kumbaya now. He had like Granola 3 times with the hippie Narset, and now it's like, okay, maybe I shouldn't kill everyone who pisses me off.
That would be kind of scary if you just yelled real loud and it made you have babies, basically. Like, like what if like contraceptives
like that?
You just have like a condom just flapping over your mouth while you scream, so you don't have sky babies.
Blowing a balloon,
Yeah.
Instead of an IUD, she's got earplugs, and it's just like they're way more effective.
Yeah.
So, Sarkin follows the woman for a time, okay, and because he thinks that, like Narset, she must be here for a reason. She must be here to guide me too. I'm the main character, right? The woman was not there to guide Sarkin, although maybe you could argue she was. She turns on him when she spots him, and that powerful magic that she wielded was too much for him too. She defeats him and basically like has him, knife to the throat. Why the fuck should I spare your life? Why are you in my lands? I'm the Khan of the Timur. What the fuck are you doing here, basically, right? This is Yasova Dragonclaw. She's a fierce warrior in the Khan of the Timur frontier. Yasova, in this distant past, has a plan. Okay, so she is a woman with a mission right now. She wants to get rid of the dragons, which keep preying on her people. And to do that, she wants to kill the one spawning all these dragon storms, which keep pissing dragons into her plane, right? Her job right now is to find this fucking Ugin fella and kill him, basically. So Nico Bolas, in the past, had sent her a vision, or maybe more accurately, a promise. Help him kill Ugin, and he'll make sure there are no more dragons on Tarkir, right? And again, she's a woman, leads a clan. Dragons are predators. They attack her clan. She's seen people die to them. She's like, this is the way to go. I got to listen to this one dragon to get rid of all the other dragons, right? So this was the woman who had tracked Ugin for Bolas. This was the woman who had enabled Bolas to finally defeat his brother for good, basically.
Okay.
Sarkin realizes, I can't let that happen. I've seen the future. There's no dragons there, and that's bad because I love dragons. Because I have autism and I love dragons. They're my special interest. Okay.
Also, like the difference in Ugin's storytelling, he's like, I had a battle for generations with my brother to finally kill her, and really he's like, woman, would you please help me kill my brother, please?
Exactly.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So different.
Yeah, he's feckless for sure.
Yeah.
So Sarkin realizes he can't let it happen, that he couldn't let the dragons of Tarkir die again, and he takes wing. He's like, damn, I gotta go, and like turns into a dragon and flies off. He's heading for the heart of the maelstrom, which sits at the center of Tarkir. And it's at this point breathing out dragons, right? He's heading for the center because the maelstrom, has a still living Ugin sitting at the center of it right now. Ugin is at the center of this storm, which is pissing out dragons right now. And he's like, that's where I gotta go. I gotta go talk to Ugin, basically.
Is Ugin's plan also to have people come into the past and prevent him from being killed? To change the future?
We'll see.
Okay.
So Sarkin does not arrive in time. Okay. Bolas's arrival is heralded by the plane itself shuddering. The dragons of Tarkir converge along Sarkin, right? Each of them determined to save the spirit dragon, their progenitor, their granddaddy. As they fly, however, so all the dragons of Tarkir are returning to the center of the plane where this storm is, where Ugin is. And as they're flying, Yasova fulfills her end of the bargain with Bolas. Okay. She utters a spell of immense power given to her by Nicol Bolas, and Sarkin feels as her magic grips his mind and the minds of all the dragons of Tarkir. Now that they're kind of all central, Nicol Bolas gave her like a mind control spell. She uses it to turn all the dragons of Tarkir against Ugin. So they're all flying in to protect him, and suddenly they're all mind controlled and like enraged and trying to kill him, basically, right? They turn on their father, crashing into the center of the maelstrom. Sarkin had just enough wherewithal to shed his draconic form, which frees him from the spell, basically, right? So he turns back into a human, frees him from the spell, but he does end up plummeting from the sky and crashing into the ground and being all but killed, basically. He managed to recover a little bit. It's Yasova actually that runs up to him and starts healing him, because she did this thing for Bolas, but she was kind of like, well, what the fuck's going on more than I do, for like somehow, like,
Yeah.
you seem to know a bit. And she's just like, I'm gonna get some fucking answers out of you. But she heals him just enough to he casts a spell to get her off of him, and he makes for Ugin, and he recovers just enough to see Ugin fall from the storm, crashing into the earth below. He creates his body falling because he's so big, creates this massive canyon into the ground of Tarkir itself. And Tarkir runs to Ugin. He gets next to his body. He kind of has this moment. He has this realization, I guess, that he needs to save Ugin. And he produces, he fumbles around in his pockets. He's like, what do I got? He has a little piece of Hedron.
Oh.
He has a little magic rock, something crafted by Nahiri on the plane of Zendikar, a tool once used to hold the Eldrazi. As soon as it touches Ugin, it expands outwards in a flash into this, it becomes this chain of pyramids, basically. So I sent you guys a picture here of what the this will come to be called the Crucible of the Spirit Dragon. It entombs Ugin. It seals him beneath it. So his body is still destroyed. And Sarkin knows that this is what he's meant to do. He realizes it was not Bolas's voice in his head. It has been Ugin in his head this whole time. And it's Ugin who gave him the power to become a dragon. It's Ugin who urged him to do everything, basically.
Guard the shard, and then when that fucks up, you'll have a shard. You can imprison me when you return to the past to change the future, to make sure I don't die in the meditation realm.
Yeah, it's hard to know exactly how much. I don't think Ugin is prescient. I don't think he was able to see the future. I think the insanity that Sarkin felt was because he was getting commands from Bolas, and Ugin was trying to break through that, trying to break through Bolas's enchantment spells and say no, listen to me, go back to Tarkir. You got to go to the past. Go to my corpse, and I'll send you back to the past so you can fix things, and I can defeat Bolas.
Dude,
it was Bolas that sent him to the Eye of the Spirit Dragon to free the Eldrazi.
I would not want to get stuck between any brothers in a conflict, huh? Look at that.
No.
You get to feel like you're insane for half your life, get sent back in time, almost killed, pulled in every direction. Not a great deal for Sarkhan.
So he touches Ugin. He has changed the past, right? So with doing that, he cannot remain in this place. He's changed the past too greatly, and he vanishes, basically. As soon as he touches the Hedron to Ugin, he's changed the path enough now that he's never born in that time, right?
Okay. The
He's
Polaroid
remembered.
is just blank here. It's
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
a picture of invisible eggs now. It just
Yeah, yeah.
drops.
That's it. He's doing like a really sad Johnny Be Good over Ugin's corpse, you know?
Yeah. Nico Bolas as a sports almanac in the future.
Nico Bolas's future Biff is maybe the art. I don't know.
Oh.
In that like red silk robe with like the slick back hair.
Oh yeah, dude, that's great.
So these Hedrons would keep Ugin safe. Maybe not alive, but maybe not as dead as he once was, basically. So
Well,
he's
they still
able to
need invisible fire, right? Is the same magic lock on the shard?
No, it's not like a lock in that sense. Bolas is like died. This just gives him something for like his soul to hold on to. So he is like the spirit dragon in truth now. He has no physical body, but he can continue to be the spirit dragon, basically. He was alive enough to see the rest of his plan through, at least. Here's a quote from Ugin's perspective as Bolas kills him, right? So we're going to jump back 20 minutes in the story here. The spirit dragon soars amid a tempest, thunderclouds surging around him as the winds boom and bluster. He is waiting. A flash of light heralds the arrival of Nico Bolas, his curved horns now embellished with a gem floating between them like a third eye that sees only what he lacks, what he does not yet possess. The two elder dragons face off, circling as the storm creates a funnel of raging winds around them. They are well matched, one armed with cunning and the other with wisdom. The spirit dragon knows it is impossible to kill Bolas outright. That is why he has devised this elaborate plan with his ally. Their only chance is to trap their foe so he can never planeswalk again. To do that, he must hold Bolas here on Tarkir until the magical device can be activated. With a roar, he wakens the force of Tarkir's soul. Dragons pour in from all across the plane in answer to Ugin's call. Even with this advantage in numbers, the spirit dragon does not attack. This is all a feint to lure in Bolas, to make him forget to be cautious. Yet even the best laid plans may crack. Bolas turns the dragons of Tarkir against their own progenitor, and when his army has been weakened by their attacks, he breaks Ugin's body with a death blow. The spirit dragon plummets to the ground. The force of his impacts smashes a chasm into the rock that alters the landscape. The reverberations of the destruction will roll on for years and generations and millennia through the multiverse. Victorious, Bolas vanishes in a burst of light. So, Ugin had a plan, right? So he's been trying to deal with his megalomaniac brother for years to get him to stop wreaking havoc on the multiverse. He realizes he can't kill Bolas. It won't work. Somebody will bring him back from the dead or something. And so he comes up with a plan. He comes up with a plan to trap him on a plane called Ixalan, using something called the Immortal Sun. And
Oh
just
yeah, I
leave
remember
him in
that.
prison there, basically, right? The plan. So that's how that ends. It's not successful. Ugin will have more time with Bolas in the future of the story. Maybe we'll get there someday, basically, right? It's not successful forever. Bolas is trapped on Ixalan for a good amount of time because of the Immortal Sun, right? But that was the plan here, was to like that flash of light was the Immortal Sun activating and transporting him to Ixalan, where he cannot planeswalk away from. The Immortal Sun was like an artifact which stopped planeswalkers from leaving the plane, basically. So you could end up on Ixalan, vampire conquistadors, riding dinosaurs, but you couldn't leave.
Right. I would never. You don't need to. That's so cool. I was trying to pull up the picture, but I couldn't remember how to spell Ixalan as well. Just to remind me who the main characters are. I do have like Christopher Columbus, basically, like vampire Christopher Columbus, like planting a sword in the beach.
Dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes like Magic the Gathering, especially with like what's it called, the Worlds Beyond, whenever they bring in other stuff. So like Universes Beyond, right? Like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is like the latest set that's came out at time of recording. I think it's already out, right? Or it's soon. Pre-release is like next week. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you can get SpongeBob SquarePants cards. You can have Bikini Bottom plane facing off against the dinosaurs being ridden by vampires. And sometimes the Universes Beyond seems a little ridiculous. Then you realize what just Magic the Gathering is. Like dinosaurs with vampires, also kind of ridiculous. So.
SpongeBob is more normal than some of the like actual like mainstream canon planes are like, right? Like Bikini Bottom's like way more
works a job. SpongeBob's got a job, man. SpongeBob's trying to pass his driver's test. He's fucking relatable. You know what I mean? What the fuck do I have in common with a fucking 16th century vampire conquistador?
Sandy Cheeks Commander deck. Is that next in the next thing you want to do?
There is a Sandy Cheeks, and she can be your commander.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now I'm in.
Honest Dog gifted me some Sonic the Hedgehog ones, and I think its shadow is actually
Shadow's quite
viable.
good, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I could have a shadow
Shadow's quite
attack.
I think the Sonic card is fine too.
Okay, cool.
So the plan, his ultimate plan after, because Bolas will escape from Ixalan, like I said, but he's got plans on plans on plans, right? So, but that's not going to come on Tarkir. That's not going to come on this episode. The plane has changed, but with Ugin still alive within his Hedron tomb, or alive enough, alive in spirit, I guess we could say, the dragon storms do not stop on Tarkir now, right? And with Ugin trapped under the tomb, unable to keep the balance, the scales tip the other way, right? Pun intended.
You keep saying words that are on the card that I play for my commander, like balance and scale, and I like yeah.
Interesting, huh?
You've said it a few times now. I feel like it's gonna happen.
It would be. I mean, imagine I've been like keeping your attention by telling you, "Don't worry, Jamie. We're going to talk about your card. We're going to talk about your card." And it's just been like it's been a Nico Bolas gaslight this whole time. I'm not gonna break it up.
Nico Bolas and Ugin of the Magic stories are like one of the most compelling ones. I think that's part of the reason why we remember it so much is like two brother dragons and this like such huge like catastrophe every time they meet, like such huge consequences to the entire world, like can be more compelling than like like Thunder Junction. I don't remember what happened. There was like cowboys and shit, and
Yeah,
yeah.
it was,
The dad from a different story was there and was still mean to his son.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Just me then.
Yeah. Don't ask me a second question about it.
Yeah.
So when we do the Ugin and Jace, or the Ugin and Bolas finale for now, at least like what we have for now, which it does seem like it is like an ending at least. I hope they I hope they find a new villain. It's kind of been Phyrexia for a while. I hope they bring back the Eldrazi. Anyway, when we do that, we'll need to talk about that. What happened on Thunder Junction?
Okay.
we'll need to talk about that.
Okay.
Jace, what they found at the end in the vaults, it will be very, very, very important for that story. But
Okay.
anyway,
I need to re-listen now.
so Ugin regains his form as the Spirit Dragon, right? No physical body, but he's able to have a presence in the multiverse. For Tarkir, he couldn't keep things as equitable as maybe he would have liked. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to say Lord Boy's Canon takes him some time to reform his self, you know. In what would come to be known as the Confall, each of the clans of Tarkir would eventually cede their power to the dragons of Tarkir. Okay, so there's now that the dragons didn't stop, there is kind of a victory in the other direction, right? Dagatar of the Abzan, Khan of the Abzan, was the first to submit to a Dragon Lord, the Dragon Lord Dromoka. As an act of fealty, he would smash the mace containing the souls of his ancestors. Shu Yun of the Jeskai was next to submit, this time to the Dragon Lord Ojutai. The price? That every Dragon Slayer, Shu Yun included, be killed. Shu Yun accepted to save his people.
Dude,
What's that?
If I was a dragon and a guy's like, I'll smash this. It has the souls of all my ancestors. Man, you didn't have to do that, dude. That seemed really important to you. Yeah.
So there are. So yeah. So the next one is so Yasova Dragonclaw, who helped Bolas, right?
Right.
Of the teamer, she finds a way around paying like Shu Yun literally says like Ojutai is like every one of your people who's killed a dragon needs to die, and he's like, okay, you can kill me. Like I've killed a dragon, I'll die to save my clan, basically. Yasova is like her dragon is just hungry, and she's like, well, if we just keep feeding the dragon, they seem pretty happy. So I guess that's cool. But the teamer again is like it's red. It's like this dragon is just like a big hunter. The Jeskai is very like it's the way. The Jeskai way is what it's called, and it's very like balance and everything. So Ojutai is like the balance needs to be that all the humans who've killed a dragon need to die, right? Whereas the Abzan is
like
very
Kung Fu law,
very sure.
right? It's balance in all things.
I'm starting to think that my spirit dragon commander, who's all about balance, is gonna come from the Jeskai. But I don't know the actual story. We'll see.
No, you know who your spirit dragon comes from. You know who you are. You know your color identity, my guy.
Oh, Sultai.
It's not Jeskai. You're Sultai, exactly.
Of course. What the hell?
So Alicia of the Mardu, for example. So Mardu is red, white, black. Even easier. Koligan, that dragon, it just wants some company in his nomadic ways. And like the Mardu are like, they're a horde, they're nomadic, and he's like, yeah, I just want people to like fucking fly with me, bro. So like
that rules.
he's like straight up like they kind of have a good relationship right off the bat, you know. And finally, Tassiger of the Sultai Brood, Khan of the Sultai Brood, was the only Khan to refuse to submit to the dragons.
Oh.
His corpse would be a bauble, which hangs from the dragon Salamgar's neck, basically.
Cool.
So he wears the corpse of the last Khan of the Sultai as a necklace. Way to stick to your guns, kid. So these dragons didn't all have equitable rules clearly, right? Some are crueler than others, but each is an absolute dictator. They're like, I am the Dragon Lord. There's no more elections ever again, right?
I don't need to vote if I'm doing road trips with my Dragon King, though. That sounds like it's very cool.
True. Yeah, absolutely true. As long as I'm, you know, in the inner circle, as long as I'm not, I'm not getting othered, then I'm happy with fascism.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like as long as I'm not like starving and breaking down Western electronics for the copper inside of them all, like 13 hours a day. Yeah, you're right.
But as has always been the case on Tarkir, the humans and dragons just simply could not live in peace, right? Together, the 5 clans would hold elections. Okay, they get together, they elect their own rebel leaders to overthrow the Dragon Lords, right? New Khans, and these new Khans travel together to the Crucible of the Spirit Dragon, the great edifice containing Ugin's soul, and beseech him in a ritual, right? From Ugin's soul, they would create 5 lesser spirit dragons to help them overthrow the Dragon Lords. The Abdan houses would raise Baator, Ancestor's Voice. The Jeskai Way would summon Shiko, Paragon of the Way. The Mardu Horde would summon Neriv, Crackling Vanguard.
Cool.
The Temur Frontier would summon Ureni of the Unwritten. And of course, the Sultai Brood would summon Taval, the Balanced Scale.
Yeah.
Cool.
The five Khans, Felithar, Narset, Zurgo, who in the alternate past was the one who killed Narset, Eshki, and Kotis would lead their spirit dragons against the Dragon Lords, banishing them in the heart of the massive storm at Tarkir's center.
Cool.
And it's time for us to jump into a swirling maelstrom of unending dragons, because that's all the time that we have for today.
Nice.
We did it, Jamie. We got your guy.
Ethan, I'm happy
one
you
of the
did
good
this,
ones.
man. I know that I'm not always I'm not always holding on to all the info that I could from your Magic episodes, but
You're a
I do
wonderful
appreciate
presence on the show, and don't let anyone, especially me, tell you different. Okay?
I always have fun, but it's very cool to know
You're
the
heart of the
story.
show. You're the people's champion, Jamie. Okay, I get it. I'm the heel. I'm fine with that.
You're not
okay?
the heel. Oh, okay, yeah, you are the heel.
if any
Fuck
one of us
this
is the
guy.
heel, I think it's me.
I just
Really?
want the mic that comes from the ceiling, personally. I'll
Yeah,
be
but you
fine.
can MC.
Yeah.
Right?
I think Pete could be a good heel, like doing what is it, Christmas
So
episodes
short, he's
about
like as
pedophiles.
tall as a heel.
Oh yeah,
Christmas
dumb.
episode.
Christmas episodes about pedophile hearings or something. Like that could be a good heel
Hey, it
move.
turns out she was innocent the whole time, right? Like, look at
Yeah.
now I got invisible egg on my fucking face, right?
No, you say that, and that is more of a Vince McMahon thing, I think. So.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. All right, called it.
Thanks so much for listening. If you want to help support the show, consider leaving us a rating or review on your podcast app of choice. Peter, how are you doing? How's Instagram?
P good. At Laura's podcast on Instagram. My book, The Black Frontier, is available down below. Shout out to David. We did our first production meeting for my next one, so fucking 10 years till that comes out. But I did want to thank him personally on air. Was a big help with the first one. Gonna be a big help with the second one. So yeah.
Thanks to producer David and editor Jonno. We got a little team. We got our
That's
elves
true.
here, huh?
Yeah.
Shout out those two.
Yeah.
Jimbo, what about you? How's Twitch? Speaking of Jonno,
Twitch
when are you
is
finishing
good.
Reanimal?
We played Reanimal until we got soft locked. We'll finish it eventually. John has been busy. If you're looking for videos, so they're on the way.
Yeah.
And
He's been busy. Someone gave him dozens of hours of videos to edit, and when I find the guy,
can't believe that.
let me tell you,
yeah.
not
Yeah,
dozens, surely not dozens.
coming out on Twitch. I fought a house in Final Fantasy recently. There's other
That's
stuff
the sequel
going on.
to We Bought a Zoo. I fought a house.
Yeah, yeah.
Matt Damon's got an eye patch now.
Yeah, and a gun arm.
What?
Yeah.
Just Evil Dead?
No, Barrett from Final Fantasy VII as a gunner.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Was thinking back on like some of my more successful streams like early on, and I think I want to come back to Dark Souls 1 and do all the DLC because I never did all the DLC for Dark Souls 1. So that could be fun. I know people like watching me die, so come to my stream, twitch.tv/LordBoyJames, and hold me to it.
Your
Hell
old
yeah.
Dark Souls streams thrilled me. I loved
Dark Souls is
watching.
such a watchable game.
Yeah.
But also the contact high of someone else's first time playing Dark Souls that I'll never get again unless I get like memory loss or whatever. But like I loved it. Like I love tuning into that. I'm not a big Twitch guy. I can pay attention to your streams, like because I know you. None of the strangers, but I gotta say the Dark Souls stuff you get back on that. Like,
Yeah.
if you haven't watched a stream from Jamie's, that's a great place to start. Or anything else he does, but the Dark Souls ones were fantastic.
I still don't know anything about the DLC. Like, I don't even know what I'm up against, how many bosses, where I'm going, what I'm doing. So it'll be just as blind and just as silly.
What are the DLCs? Painted World is a DLC, right? And
Painted World, no, the Painted World is a level in the first game. Ashes of Ariandel is a second painting in the third game.
Ashes. That's it.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
No,
Pretty
it's
cool.
what the fuck is it? Matt, it's the Abyss Walker or whatever the fuck it's called. Is the DLC for the first one.
Right.
Anyways, come watch it with
Painted
me.
World. Painted World is the main setting for the Ashes of Ariandel. Cool. Anyway, twitch.tv/the Lore Boys or Lore Boys
Lord
James.
Boy
Excuse
James,
me.
yeah.
Twitch, I think twitch.tv/the Lore Boys is our URL, but
It is,
we
yeah.
haven't used it in 10
I
years.
used to
We used
use
to
it
be
as my
crazy.
main until I Beyonce'd
used
on
to.
Twitch. Yeah. And
Yeah,
true.
I think you're doing a
Yeah.
better job as Beyonce, frankly.
And Beyonce, let's be real. Beyonce's the pro tag. The other Destiny's Child was the heel, right? For sure.
yeah, who are even the I don't know.
I can tell you. Gun to my head. Thanks so much for listening. If you want to support the show, we do have a
Urza,
Patreon,
Ugin,
Patreon.
Jace Belleran. Other names I remember that we talked about.
Yeah, Beyonce had one name and she was comfortable with it, but the other ones had to add second names just to cover up. Yeah.
Patreon.com/Lorebos. Links in the description. Check it out. If you don't trust Patreon, we do have Lorebos Prime Service, which we always offered. We are looking for the 4th member of Loreboy's Child, of course, this week. So make sure to get your psychic submissions in. We're working off visions received. So any visions that we get in our head, we'll take for an official submission. Doesn't really matter what the content of the submission was, but you'll be considered until we ultimately betray you in the meditation realm and astral project you beneath a bunch of big rocks. So
Yeah, you're hearing our voices
Beyonce's
now.
skeleton sent one of the other women into the past to stop her from
Yeah.
getting killed.
yeah, if you go to the corpse of Beyonce and walk in the giant rib cage to the swirling maelstrom of magic in the center, you can travel into the past to before
Like,
England
Jay-Z
killed
gets
all the
killed on the way
dragons.
there. He's like, you have to carry on without me.
Yeah, it's been 1,000 years since the last one of all the single ladies have been on this plane.
The hurricane conjures a bunch of single ladies in the sky.
And I think that would constitute a lore
Lore boys.
out.